What's going on, my From fans, my Fromily? I'm One Eye Bry, also known as PT. Don't know if I'm winking or blinking, but I'm definitely thinking about From Season 2, Episode 7. So spoiler warning for all things From, especially Season 2, Episode 7. Review, recap, break it down. We're going to discuss the episode, Belly of the Beast. What's going on with Fatima? Interesting stuff. It's a good episode. I know some people just want all the answers right away, but we're not going to get them because what would the rest of the episodes and the seasons be? But ultimately, we're going to talk about this for sure. Is it Fatima? Either way, it's a dream hallucination because of the music box. Elgin should be okay, but this is how the episode ends. And a lot of people are wondering, is it Fatima? Is she the beast? Is the baby in the belly future Elgin? But we'll have to see. Also, Ellis is doing pretty good after being stabbed and almost dying yesterday. He's able to get back to Colony House. They bring Smiley into the medical center. They operate on him, dissect him, whatever you want to call him, do an autopsy. He looks terrible, but it's pretty interesting. We got some answers. Are they human? Are they real? Are they aliens? But Christy decides to cut him open, and there's a reflex, but it's a jump scare, right? Wasn't sure if he was going to come back alive, turn human, but either way, he's definitely dead. Kenny freaked out. We shouldn't be doing this. We shouldn't be doing that. Let's go talk to Kenny. Let's stop what we're doing because this thing is not a priority. Let's talk to Kenny. But Kenny comes back when they actually further the dissection, autopsy, whatever you want to call it. Christy cuts him open and we get to see the insides of Smiley. Like I said, Kenny comes back. It's a little much, like, all right, Kenny, think about other things. You don't agree with it, but either help out or get out of here. You know, that's what I would say to him. Like, either you're going to help us or you're going to not bother us, because that's basically what you were doing, taking time away to get answers. And as the fans, we all want answers, and this is some sort of answer. So they open Smiley up, and he has organs. They're all desiccated, which means dried out. Christy even says the word desiccated, and the organs are there. You see the lungs, you see the liver, you see the gallbladder, you see the colon. So this thing is or was a human being. But there's no fluids, there's no liquids, there's no blood, there's no anything besides bile that we actually see in the episode. So we don't know what happened with the worms. We don't know why the worms killed Smiley. We still don't have answers. Well, we have small answers. But when they rip apart the body, it was cool. I don't know about you, but I was worried about this thing coming alive and biting one of them or something. You know, like I just was like, you should tie this thing down or put something in its mouth or put some rope around it or something, because what if it jumped up and decided to bite one of you and then one of you turns into it, or, you know, I don't know. But we got to see the body didn't, you know, disintegrate or catch on fire, even though Kenny wanted to burn it, which I don't know what they're going to do with the body now because they have some answers, but what's going to happen with the future of this body at night over time? But they get bile from the gallbladder, which is going to break down fats and food basically. And I don't know how effective it's going to be to kill the other monsters, creatures, but they bottle it up and now they have a potential thing here. But the way this show goes, they'll take one step forward, like a baby step forward, and then they'll take 5,000 steps backwards. So they're making progress, but we'll have to see what actually happens with it. Boyd and Kenny have a nice moment. Kenny doesn't want to be part of, you know, the police or protecting this place. He doesn't want the badge back. And we see the vial full of bile. No, the tube of bile that I guess they're going to put it on stuff and stab the creatures with it and see if anything happens. Not sure if it's going to be effective or not, but only time will tell what the writers decide to do with these findings. Will it mean anything? We still don't know, and that's part of the fun and part of the hate for a lot of people. Like, we want answers. But Mari is sick. She's detoxing, and she's throwing up. Bile, probably, you know. But she's not doing well. I couldn't help but notice the red, the flowers on the pillowcases, on the shirts. It's just flowers all over the place, the different colors, and, you know, it's just interesting to see what it is. And the episode title is Belly of the Beast, and Fatima is pregnant, so there's a lot of people thinking a lot of different things right now, and that's what happens every episode. Theories, and more theories. But Mari has a dream hallucination, and it's interesting that she had one, and so did Elgin, and they were connected with the group that killed Smiley. But also Mari and Elgin are both afraid Elgin is definitely afraid, and Mari is probably afraid after, detoxing and being on drugs. But she has a hallucination, and we see Smiley, and we're like, what the? Well, first she gets up, and I'm like, there's no way she feels better already getting up like that. But Boyd is in the hallucination too. They look on scared because Smiley is walking and up and looks unaffected by what Boyd did. But luckily, it's just a hallucination. It's not actually true. It's not actually happening. So it was all a dream. Well, a nightmare. And I was like, man, this thing got up already? But luckily we find out that it was a dream, and Smiley takes the shots and keeps on coming. And I'm sure a lot of people were glad to see Smiley because Smiley has a lot of fans. People are rooting for Smiley. There's a big fan base for Smiley in the family. But we know it's hallucination because of the music box. So what does it mean? What's up with the music box? I don't know. Why do people keep seeing it? Boyd was the first one to see it. Now other people are seeing it, that's for sure. And we see that she wakes up and she's okay. And I have to note the red roses on her pillowcase, which is kind of interesting because we see different colored flowers on a couple of different pillowcases, which is pretty interesting with Mari, with Ellis, and also the color of her socks were the color of the bile, basically a little darker, but same color palette, which I thought was interesting. Also kind of the headboard, same color. And, it's just interesting to see the different symbolism that could be happening in this show. We see at the end of the episode that Christy and Mari are in bed together. Christy talks about a bad dream, talk about that she's having the nightmares from Boyd, that he passed it on to her. Is there something to that? I don't know, but it's still interesting. And every episode has a lot of people talking. The red on the cup. We'll have to see what happens. Who do you think dies this season? Let me know in the comments. And at the beginning of the episode, we see Donna talking with Dale. And the word that's going around is that Donna and Dale are married in real life. And this is on IMDb. Someone posted it on the From page on Facebook. And you see the Saunderses, Elizabeth Saunders and Cliff Saunders. So last name, both in the show, Donna and Dale. So Donna's not messing around. And we see that Bacta, this is the bus driver, changed her clothes. Finally, she looks more like a regular person. And she brings up a good point. Like, how can these people feel comfortable staying there when they tried to kill them? Dale said, you need to go outside, basically die. They don't have enough food. So I see both ends of it, but you shouldn't kill people. You should work together, and that could be the dividing line of this place. So Donna is in her greenhouse. We see the red ice cube trays for the crops, and I have to note the red. That's what we do here on this channel. But Donna is having a rough time. The poisoned soil, and as she's there dealing with the food shortage, she knows what's going on, and they have to preserve food, and you have to cut down your rations. If you're running low on food and you got more people to feed, you got to do it. Fatima comes in, and I have to note of the clothing that she's wearing. She has red roses on her shirt, blouse. I don't know whatever you call this thing. I'm a guy. I don't know what this is. But you see the red roses on there. And a lot of people are saying, there's a theory going around that she is the beast. And in her belly is a baby, which could be future Elgin. If they had the child, will it be named Elgin that helped save Ellis? It makes sense. It could happen for sure. Will it be a time sequence thing here? Because this place could be playing with time. Trees are moving. And as Fatima and Donna are talking, it's interesting because this place has its own rules. And when Fatima was in the real world, she said that she couldn't have a baby. I guess doctors said that she couldn't have a baby. So here she can have one. And she talks about being afraid and this place is messing with her. So again, fear comes up basically every episode. And it's interesting to see the different theories that people are talking about. And I hope some of them are true because some of them are pretty good. But the fact that she can have a child here and she couldn't have it there in the real world is interesting, but it's not crazy. Miracles like this happen all the time. And just because doctors say something doesn't mean that it will definitely come true. But she's pregnant, and I guess she tells Ellis. We don't know that she tells Ellis because she sits there and she says on the end of the bed, I have something to talk about. And that's all we know because we don't see that because the next scene is at the medical center and we don't know how this conversation is going. And I love the fact when Donna was like, it's not Ellis's, basically, she said. And Father was like, no, it's his. I'm not a slut. I'm not a hoe. I don't get around, But see the flowers on the pillowcases? Pretty interesting. Maybe it's just from set, but two people that were connected with Smiley's death in that group at the medical center had pillowcases with red flowers on it. Something to it. I don't know, but I'm just pointing out stuff I notice. And again, this is where the episode ends for these two characters. Julie comes and talks to them at the colony house, and we definitely want to talk about the painting or the portrait or the charcoal drawing that's above Ellis and Fatima, because it looks pretty interesting. But as Julie is wearing this terrible sweater with a different color hearts on it, but here is the drawing, the charcoal drawing, I'm guessing. There's a lot of people talking that it looks a lot like that, lady at the end of the episode. But Julie misses Ellis and Fatima, and they miss her, and they're friends. It's nice to see. And all of the Matthews family had their little roles. Julie went here. She talks with Ellis. Ethan was with Victor. Jim was with Randall. And Tabitha is with Jade. But Julie and Elgin talk by the pool, which is telling, because later on in the episode they talk that Elgin says, I don't take baths, and Julie recommends taking a bath to relax and calm down. The pool would be gross and mosquitoes would be coming out of this pool, that's for sure. I thought more water would be in here. I guess they don't get a lot of rain, but it was interesting symbolism and foreshadowing of the stone in the pool that Elgin probably threw. We see Jim have a problem with Tabitha, talking about they should be on the same page, and they have an argument. But as he's outside, a drone flies by. And this is going to be the next project that Jim decides to do here. Probably going to cause more problems than good, that's for sure. But Jim looks at the drone, and some people are talking about the drone, that it wouldn't fly in here because it needs GPS or this. I don't know. But either way, it just needs a frequency from the remote control to that, is what I'm guessing. But Randall's kind of like, ha ha ha, gotcha. But they go back to the RV that's overturned for the radio and the antenna. And their plan is to put the antenna on the drone and to fly up as high as possible to send out a signal, I'm guessing. So Randall and Jim are going to be working together in the upcoming episodes. At some point, we see Tabitha talking with Jade at the bar. They get the distillery, I guess, whatever these containers and whatever you call this, putting it together. But Jade and Tabitha talk about what Tabitha saw, what Jade saw, and what Jade saw in season 1. And Tabitha, looks at the picture and she's like, yeah, that's Victor. They talk about Christopher. They talk about the symbols. They talk about going there to the caves, but they don't in this episode. Ethan and Victor are talking about the trees. And it's telling, I don't know what to really gather from the information that Victor is marking out the trees and the steps, and they're moving and the leaves are falling off, and that usually doesn't happen. So things are changing here. So when things are changing here, it's usually not for the good. When people are looking for answers, they usually don't find them. They usually are going to be in trouble and usually going to die. But we see Elgin in the bathtub at the end of the episode. So two things to note. The water is pretty high in this tub. I kept worrying about it overflowing, and then when it's filling, the water is lower. So it's just what it is. Ultimately, Elgin goes into the tub as he listens to Julie. He doesn't take baths, and he probably shouldn't have taken a bath, because when he's in the tub, he looks scared and he's fearful. And when people are scared and fearful, bad stuff happens here, obviously. But as he's in the tub and the water's filling up and the drama's building up, a lady or a creature or a hallucination or a monster or some people are calling it some Japanese demon, that he is basically being drowned by this thing that shows up here. But as he's there, he listens to the music. It's the music box. So we know it's a hallucination. It's not real. Elgin will be fine. But that's 3 people now to see the ballerina in the music box. Well, I guess 4. Martin as well. Martin, Boyd, Mari, and Elgin. Am I missing any? But Elgin goes under the water because you see an arm pushing him down, drowning him. And it's shocking and scary, but I know Elgin's going to be okay because it's not real. It's a hallucination. He'll wake up from it and be okay. But he was talking about before that he couldn't remember stuff. So will this be the catalyst for him to remember his dream? But you see, is that a kimono is what this person's wearing? But it's flowers on it, right? Very telling. So a lot of people are thinking it's Fatima, and it kind of looks like her. The hair, the look, the face, very skinny. But Elgin is not doing well here. He's drowning, and it happens very quick. And it's ultimately how the episode ends. But I wonder if this is going to be the near-death experience that's going to make him remember things. The aha moment, right? Because something's got to happen for him to remember his dream, why he remembers this place. Because right now he has a mental block from it. And something's got to work. We want answers. We want him to tell us about the dream. We heard about this in the first episode of season 2. And of all the possible creatures or monsters or whatever this thing is, why does it look somewhat like Fatima? It just does. The hair, the face, the body, the clothing. It's not the same, but it's the same. It's different, but it's the same, right? I mean, people are talking about the face, the nose, the mouth, the facial features. I mean, it just looks like the character. So what are we supposed to gather from this information? Why is this possible Fatima trying to kill Elgin, right? Because I do buy into the theory right now, at least, that the belly of the beast explains Fatima's belly, the pregnancy. She's the beast. Elgin is the future child of Ellis and Fatima. But only time will tell. Let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below, and that's how the episode ends, guys. But like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Support the PT channel when you can. We're going to be talking about a bunch of different shows, including From. We love this series. We're excited to see how the second season ends with a cliffhanger, most likely. Stay safe, and as always, tell them Daryl.
Yo, we love you guys.